Brian Dable breaks silence on Shedeur Sanders' meeting after Mom Pilar gives up on NFL. We're going late into the third round of the 2025 NFL Draft. Yet, there's still no mention of Shedeur Sanders' name. And honestly, getting passed on a team you were hoping to get on, not just once, but twice, is a next-level sting. Before the draft, the general public expected the New York Giants to land the former Colorado QB with their number 3 overall pick. But they chose Penn State's Abdul Carter instead. And the wilder part? They traded up to number 25 to secure their QB in Ole Miss Jackson Dart. So what's going on? NFL insider Todd McShay's report mentioned that Brian Dable and Shedeur Sanders had a meeting that didn't go very well. But the Giants HC cleared the air in an interview posted by CBS Sports on Instagram on April 25th. "I'd say we had good meetings with all the guys that came in here on their top 30 visits," he said. "Quarterback meetings were productive, and we're happy with Jackson." Cryptic, but everyone has a freedom of choice. Todd McShay's pre-draft report stated, "With just a few hours until the draft kicks off in Green Bay, league sources I've spoken to are expecting him to slide. I've heard from 2 different sources that his visit with head coach Brian Dable did not go particularly well. And the reason behind the tense meeting? The friction centered on some frustration between the two regarding Sanders' preparation of an install package," the insider added. Shedeur Sanders was once a potential top 10 prospect, but per McShay, his slide began after his NFL Combine interviews. It seems the interview process as a whole, beginning in Indianapolis, as I reported a few days after the Combine, has negatively affected the league-wide perception of Sanders during the lead-up to this year's draft. A day before the draft, McShay dropped a suspenseful message coming from the Giants front office. "Dable is not a Shedeur guy," he said on his podcast. "And Dable prefers Jackson Dart. I don't know to what level." And now the suspense is cleared. His fall late into the third round is pulling in all sorts of narratives, especially negatives, and his mother is having enough of it. Pilar Sanders is frustrated at NFL's snub on Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur's mom, Pilar Sanders, who was initially hyped up in anticipation of her son's expected first-round pick on Thursday night, faced a grim reality. Slander circled around Shedeur, with one anonymous NFL coach blasting his interview to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. "The worst formal interview I've ever been in my life. He's so entitled. He takes unnecessary sacks," the coach said. "He never plays on time. He has horrible body language. He blames teammates. But the biggest thing is, he's not that good." But this anonymous hate is getting more hate than it was intended for. Pilar posted former NFL QB Robert Griffin's reel on her IG story, which had the words, "The Shedeur Sanders NFL draft hate is ridiculous," plastered across it. No need for her own take. This statement summed up her frustration at the NFL and the hate that's circulating around his talented son, who's undoubtedly been snubbed. But it's not like Shedeur is completely sidelined. Several came to Shedeur Sanders' rescue, including NFL analyst Kyle Brandt, who slammed the anonymous statement, saying, "Do not listen to that quote. That quote is B-dashed." Nebraska's Matt Rule also saw the QB's potential, saying, "I would take him number 3 overall, without a question." But, biggest of all, even President Donald Trump questioned if the NFL owners have lost their minds for passing up on the QB who has phenomenal genes and is all set for greatness. Hate is never-ending. But Shedeur Sanders will surely find a way to rise above all this negativity. Haters will hate, but as Deion Sanders Jr. says, the rejected will be respected.